What's up, world? Peace. Sound like I'm to the believers. Peace and love, everybody. Shout out to everybody that's been liking, commenting, subscribing. I know I ain't been as consistent lately. You know what I mean? I've been working on some things. I've been working on Pimps Don't Cry, which is about to drop. It's officially like the new audio film that I'm working on. We about to do the Sincere Cypher this Saturday. If you in the tri-state area, make sure you pull up like suspenders. You know what I mean? Wipe your feet at the door. You know what's in store. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to chop it up about this, man, because I had some thoughts about this, but I wanted to see what happened and just make sure I do my due diligence. But let's see who up. You know, we're on a late night. I just wanted to get this off while it's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? See how many of y'all up. But either way, we're going to pop it. I'm just going to be on the net like always, you know, with the lives. But, so, it's crazy, man. Prayers up for Tory Lanez, man. I know by now everybody's seen that he got stabbed. You know what I'm saying? You know, they hit him up. But I want to get into a little bit about the political aspect because I don't think people really understand. He said battle Mook again. Yeah? You want to see that? You smoked him. So why you want to see me battle him again? Hit that like too, man. Everybody in here, double tap that screen if you know what I mean, man. Pop. Put me in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure we get these videos and at least, you know, get some traction. Especially because when I stop posting as much, you know, the algorithm be like, oh, all right, well, you ain't, you know what I mean? So I got to like really, you know, promote it back up and get it back up, get it back shaking. You know what I mean? But when I got something I'm really passionate about, I feel like, you know, it's like, it's necessary. You know what I mean? It's necessary. So I'm going to just chop whoever comes in, you know what I'm saying, whatever, as it goes. I know it's late. All right, so boom. So Tory Lanez, pardon me, you know, prayers up to him and his family. He was on, apparently they got this new thing called 50-50 yards, right? Whereas 50% are people that will be on PC, protective custody, or got what's called bad charges, right? Where they normally wouldn't be, you know, housed all together, right? But it's called SNY or 50-50 yards, where they have half people that normally got them type of charges and normally be in protective custody or whatever, and they got half of people that's really active or whatever, right? Now this is what's interesting to me because you got people, that means you got people that's lifers, that's doing all day versus people that's going home. You know what I'm saying? So this just creates an interesting dynamic because who knows, you know, what this person's going through this day, and you going home. What's up, new people? I see y'all, man. What's going on? We chopping on a late night, man. Wipe your feet at the door. We know it's a store. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button, man. Feel free to share it, man. Matter of fact, let me share this one time. Don't go nowhere. Hold up. Yeah. What's up, Gia? I see you, love. Like I said, I need to see that thumbs up going up, man. I see the people going up. I need to see them thumbs up going up, man. Like that video, man. Put me in there, man. Show me that love. But anyway, so when we talking about California politics, right? With this SNY yard thing, you know what I'm saying? The SNY yard, the 50-50 yard, where you're there with these other people that, you know, they're not into the normal politics of what the normal prison is, right? Because for the rules, just for those that know rule wise. And I don't like keep saying this, bro. I'm still talking to y'all and I don't see that light moving. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, see? That's why y'all be fucking up for everybody else, man. Stick to the rules. Wipe your feet when you come in the door, man. Otherwise, I don't be liking it. I be feeling like I got spies, man. You know what I mean? Don't do that to me. If I don't see that shit moving, I'm gonna get bougie. All right, keep playing. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Anyway, so boom. Yeah, I'm definitely sensitive about my likes, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't have my videos not going nowhere. You know, show me that love. Don't be sitting here flirting with me and can't show me no love now. But anyway, so boom. Um, California politics are very specific when it comes to prison, right? Especially when we're talking about whites, Mexicans, which are a very large population. It's a lot of Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? Especially California, Texas, you know, they're the majority, right? So race relations are nowhere more heightened than in prison. That's where race is the main factor of everything. If you're a white man and you're in a general population prison, a level 3, level 4, I don't even know about probably level 2, level 1, 2, even county jail, you're not supposed to eat after a black man. You're not supposed to smoke with a black man. You're not supposed to drink after, or even though I don't know why you'd be drinking off people anyway, but you're not supposed to even use the phone. You're supposed to wipe the phone off, all this extra stuff. You're not supposed to be in the cell alone with them, right? You are also not allowed to fight them one-on-one. If you get into an argument with a black guy and you just take off on him, you're going to get DP'd, disciplined, which for the woods, for the white guys, usually means right? Not. Usually. That's the way they operate because one, they try to keep their numbers strong and solid so that if there's a white guy on the yard, they want to have tough white guys. They don't want to have numbers that's weak numbers so that when it goes down, they got a solid car. They got a solid force, right? The Mexicans think the same way. So they have mandatory workouts, right? It's mandatory workouts for the whites and the Mexicans, as far as what I observed, you know what I'm saying, in terms of prison, right? But when you're talking about um, 50-50 yards, if you are a reputable, if you are in a gang, if you are a Sereno or a Norteño or a Wood or Aryan Brotherhood or any of that, what they call something riders, and they got all of these different sects of what really are just, you know, different gangs, right? You are not allowed to be on a yard like that. So if you land on a yard like that, where it's a 50-50 yard, you didn't make the rules. It just happens to be a guy right there that's just a cholo, right? You're not supposed to be able to live with them. So technically, the politics are you're supposed to get off on them, you know what I mean? So they take you to the hole and ship you to another prison so that you can be on a yard that's called a good yard. And we're not, just for the record, we're not glorifying any of this. We're not saying this because it's like some cool fraternity or something that you supposed to know about and all of that. None of that. All right, it's not cool ever to go to prison, lose your freedom, ever be in that position. But unfortunately, it happens a lot in our communities, and this is what we're talking about. We're talking about a brother that's a star that unfortunately not only lost his freedom, but almost lost his life. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to break down the environment that he's in, the dynamics that he's dealing with by being in that environment, and how something like that could happen. Because that's the part that's a little strange and what really made me say, let me kind of dissect this a little bit. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So okay. Now that you know this is on a regular yard, these are the rules. There's no hand-to-hand combat between a white man and a black man, or a Mexican and a black man, or whatever. Because what that does is that will create a race riot. That will create a situation to where now they have to retaliate. They have to do something because they're looking at it as you got off on one of ours. You did something to a white guy. You know what I mean? So it's rules to keep that from happening. So if you do something out of pocket, your car is supposed to discipline you. The shot caller, which is what they call it, the shot caller from your side would talk to the other shot caller from the other side and say, hey man, your guy did this, and X, Y, Z, man. You're going to have to handle that, right? And he says, don't worry, I'll handle it. Now, this is how cold the game gets. Sometimes You might not even did nothing wrong, right? But they just don't want to have that situation. They don't want it to be a situation where it can cause a riot or let's say they got some business going on or whatever. They don't feel like putting you above whatever's going on. So your own people might hit you just because they don't feel like having to deal with the issue. They want to make sure, so you get politicked on. That's what it's called. You get politicked on. And at some level, I believe that Tory had to be politicked on, but this is where it gets tricky because you're talking about uh, a SNY yard. Be a man and tell us what you did to go to prison for. First of all, relax. I'm talking about a whole nother situation. I didn't see your question. But if you don't like how I'm talking, love, you can like you writing a lot, right? I never went to prison, first of all, just for the record. I went to jail, okay? Never been to prison in my life. Thank God. But anyway, so um what I'm saying, this is for the world too. This is not just for you, respectfully. I appreciate you being here, but I'm speaking to the world too, if you're new here. All right, respectfully. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just talking. So the politics of California's prison system usually indicate that a Mexican man and a black man don't have physical one-on-one combat because what that usually means is your people will discipline you on a level to where you will have to go what's called to the back. You will get stabbed, you will get assaulted, you will get something so bad that you will have to check in to protective custody. They will make you what's called roll it up. And you will have to be rolled up for the rest of your time if you're incarcerated. That's what winds up happening. You have to wind up staying in protective custody once you go to protective custody because let's say you go to another prison and you tell them, no, I'm good, I'm da-da. They're going to find out that you were in protective custody. And then the wolves is gonna get on you because they're gonna be like, man, you rolled it up over here. They're gonna send kites. They're gonna somehow it's always gonna get out. So once you roll it up, you usually gotta keep rolling it up. So the bottom line is people don't want to have to do that. They don't want to have to go to solitary confinement. They don't want to have to live in 24 hours in one lockdown, right? They don't want to have to not be able to talk on the phone when they want or whatever, have the little bit of freedom and movement that you get to have as being in the general population, right? So at the end of the day, what winds up happening is people usually their instinct as humans kick in because nobody wants to lose all of their freedom, even if you want to feel safe, right? You want to feel safe, but you also don't want to be in the back, not being able to move and having to only deal with chomos and weirdos and scared people. You want to be able to move and groove, even if you are one of those people on the low, right? You still want to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So what happens? Usually people go with that. Even if you get mad and you might get in a random fight, you see a random fight, people, stuff happens. But usually people know the consequences are so severe that they respect the politics. They go up the food chain. Now, this is the laws I respect about the Mexicans, right? As far as what I understand. One, from those that I learned this from, if you are Mexican and you really a part of whatever, I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm saying? But those that don't know, and if you're a part of, you know what I mean? You're not allowed to fight another brother. If it's a problem, that's a problem enough, they give him a weapon, they give you a weapon, and they say you go in there and you handle it. If it's not that serious, then you have to let it go. Which I actually like that theory because it actually prevents a lot of on Mexican problems. Because if it's not serious enough to where you have to try and take the man's life, then you let it go. It prevents a lot of the division to where normally with us, we feel away. You said something, what you said, bam, you just popping off and whatever. You know what I'm saying? We don't be having the consequences of, you know what I mean, that type of situation the same way that the Woods and the Mexicans do, right? The same way I think certain sets and certain people have that, but the mandatory workout part that I watched the Mexicans and the whites working with, talking about power, power, sureño, raza, raza. Like, they chanting that shit and really like making sure people see the unification and the fact that they really training daily. It's a mental thing too. You know what I'm saying? So all of this shit comes into play when you make decisions about what you're going to do, especially to a member of another race, right? So what's popping out? What's going on? You know what I mean? So what winds up happening is usually people don't react on that impulse and just go, you know, harm another race member because they know the consequence. So with your boy, you know, shout to Tory, man, free Tory, man, and prayers for him because I really don't think he popped shorty. They got some new footage of showing her stepping on glass and some other stuff. I don't know, but it's just weird, right? And what's up, new people? It's just when you come through, man, just hit that double tap that button. Excuse me, hit that like when you come through the door, man, and wipe your feet at the doormat, man. But yeah, so Tory Lanez is in jail in a SNY yard on a 50-50 yard to where if you're a normal, reputable gang member or whatever, I don't know if they're accepting it nowadays, but normally you're not supposed to be on that yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to get off that yard because it's a bad yard, quote unquote. But Tory is Tory Lanez. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not whatever. He's going to make the most out of it. And from the pictures and the stuff you've seen, it looked like he's around some hard body whatever. Maybe that's just what's happening. Maybe the system is just making all of these yards be like that and there's no way we can control it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, all right, boom. For a Mexican guy, now first they said he got hit I think about 14 times. They said 8 times in the back, 2 times in the back of the head, and like I think 2 in the ribs or something like that, right? So if that's the case, one, it was an attack paused from the back, right? Most likely. Because if he was attacking from the front, then he would have been able to something. And if you've seen the pictures of Tory, he looked like his weight is up right now. You know what I'm saying? So he got stabbed by a Mexican in the back, right? 8 times, 2 times in the head. So he got snuck attack on the yard. And it was on the yard, right? So one, there's either one or two things. Or probably more, it could be more than that. You know what I mean? By the grace of Allah, I don't know. I'm not there, whatever. But these are 2 things that I know of and think of myself, right? One, it was a sanctioned and okay thing that the Mexicans okayed with the blacks, whoever was running the yard or whoever was in that charge, that said, hey, listen, we're going to do this to him. You know what I mean? Look, we got to handle this, da-da-da-da-da, right? And then that's why it's okay for him to do that. And not worry about himself getting taken out or whatever, and it be okay because he got it sanctioned. I don't know why that could be the case, right? I don't know if maybe people thought they could get something from Tory that they wasn't able to get from him. As you can see, he's in gym pop. As you can see, he recording albums in there. He working out. He taking flicks on the yard. He on the yard with it. He not hiding. He not ducking no wreck. He not going in the back. He's not saying what a lot of our other favorite rappers that go to jail do, which is, I'm a celebrity, so I gotta whatever. No, he walking the yard like a man with his chest out, and this is why he's even in the position for something like that to happen, right? Well, here's where it gets sticky and tricky at, though. Because, okay, you're getting stabbed in the back, not by a black person, by a Mexican, right? Now, is it because it's on 50-50 yard that the politics maybe are not as strong because this is not where all of the reputable gang members are, right? Is this why? Is it because of the fact that, okay, these people, there's people in here that told, there's people over here that they're like, what are we going to do? Stab everybody? Roll everybody up? It's a 50-50 yard. 50% of these people here are bad, right? So maybe it's a thing to where the politics aren't really as the same on that type of yard, right? I don't know, because it's literally a 50-50 yard, right? So maybe the racial politics, I can't see it being that different though. You know what I'm saying? It's still California, it's still prison. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see it being like the blacks ain't together and the Mexicans ain't together and the whites ain't together just because it's a 50-50 yard. I don't see that being the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think in this case, especially, where it gets tricky is that, all right, one, it was a Mexican. Two, it was a sneak attack. Three, where was his boys at? Where was the people that he was in pictures with? I'm sure he got bread, right? So I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? He done spent that bread around, right? I heard something, I don't know how true it is. I heard that he bought everybody something on Christmas and all of that type of stuff, right? Which is basic. You don't have to, but it's kind of like, you know, if you're a player and you're a boy, it's kind of like almost expected, right? You know what I'm saying? And look, Gia, I'm not blocking you, love, honestly, because your avatar, you look pretty in that. I don't know, but you going ham in these comments, right? You just saying anything, love. This is a bunch of hoopla. He lied and he shot that girl. Was it a glass or a knife? I want to see proof. It's on the news, love. Okay? He went to a hospital. He got flown on a helicopter to a hospital. All right? That's not like that's a documented thing. That's why they're saying it on the news. They can't manufacture that, love. They can't make up that somebody got on a hospital from a prison. You're a prison official. That would be lying. That would mean you get prosecuted. That means you can go to jail. Now, of course, there's lots of politics and lots of, stuff that happens at the top of the food chain, but that's not happening with Tory. They didn't make up that he got stabbed. He got stabbed. You know what I mean? I don't think she even knows what's going on, J. Doe, but it's okay. I tried to help because you just going ham in the comment, but like, all right, I'm gonna just let you talk. But you probably distracted people because I literally see like every comment is you going ham in it. But anyway, whatever, I'll let you rock. But anyway, so okay, Mexican stabbed Tory Lane from the back, pause, 8 times, 2 times in the top, in the ribs, all this extra stuff, real sneaky. All right, pardon me. All right, pardon me. You got me? Duval. She said Duval. What's happening? All right. Nah, it wasn't you buffering. I got a phone call. That's all. I got a phone call. But yeah, so all right. Let's keep this focus. All right. Yeah, we good, J. Doe. Let's keep this focus. We got. All right, Gia. If you keep going, I'm sorry, love. I'm gonna block you, love. I don't want to block you. I see you're very engaged, but just you gotta relax, okay? You're like literally deliberately disrupting the chat. Like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? She like you know what I'm saying? She like, huh, man? Like, exactly, Samara. I don't know. Like, what's going on? All right, well, just relax. I don't want to have to block you. Just chill. Like, can you chill? Like, damn, the Canadians be wild. But anyway. Just vibe, okay? Just vibe out. See where we going. You just sitting there saying shit. You just want to say something. Like, relax. You know what I mean? Yes, he was stabbed in the clink. Yeah, Gia, yes, he was stabbed, okay? Well, I don't know. You said something about Canadians, That's how much you've been saying in here. I've been trying to focus and whatever. But anyway, I'm engaging with my people. I don't want you to feel left out. I haven't seen you here before. And like I said, you do look kind of cute from your avatar. I don't know what's going on. I try to be nice to the ladies. Right, Samara? I'm a gentleman here. You know what I'm saying? But, okay, there you go. Now you're out of here. Timeout. You're on timeout for 30 minutes, Gia. She got to be regulated. Like, see, she don't got no respect. So much you can't read. All right, now you can't see. How about that? Miss type a million, like people crazy online. Anyway, so a lot of these chicks be the pretty ones that be. I mean, you said word, word, but yeah. So okay, let's refocus. Right? See, the devil be working, man. Trying to throw us off. Hold up. Can we focus and do what we doing here? Can we vibe on a positive level about something happening to my brother, my black brother? That, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we shed some light in a positive fashion on something that affects our community and hip hop, please? Without distractions from foreigners and crazy white people. Anyway, respectfully. So, talk about, know what I mean? Yeah. So, man. So, you know he spread some chicken around in there, right? You know he showed some love. He's on the tier. He has to. You know what I'm saying? He gonna eat good. He not gonna sit there and let the brothers starve and whatever. Well, you know, he's sitting there recording. He's smoking probably. You know what I'm saying? He vibing, right? So he got homies. He got somebody in there that'll do something for him, right? So where was they at, right? Where was they at that somebody could just sneak up behind this multi-million-dollar guy that we're all observing of? I guarantee you, especially in prison and jail. I've never been to prison, but jail's the same way. Everybody's watching all the time, right? There's never a moment where you're Tory Lanez and you coming out your cell and you walking around the yard and niggas not paying attention to you. They watching. Somebody's always watching, right? So why is the people that you taking them flicks with, and I'm not disrespecting you, Tory, like respectfully, if you ever see this, brother, I'm on your side. I'm just saying, like, it's weird to me as observing from the outside looking in, where I'm like, it gotta be something in the game. Somebody politicked on my boy, because where is these dudes that he just was taking the pictures with that look solid and whatever? Is them the ones that, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they was at, that they let somebody sneak up on the cash cow. Let somebody sneak up on the multi-million-dollar nigga that we got here showing us love, probably. Why would you let something happen to him? Right? So, or maybe it was some random situation. Maybe it was just a random situation where he just, maybe it was a random, somebody felt disrespected and just felt like they took it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only other thing I could think of. Because I can't find a way in my mind, knowing the politics of California, knowing that a Mexican just doing that to a black guy could create a riot. The Mexicans is going to get on your ass for that. They're going to be mad as hell that you did that. Because they're going to be thinking about you done messed up some business for us. You about to have us on lockdown. I can't see my girl now. I can't go on visits. I can't get this package in that I've been getting this money to pay for my appeal. All this stuff. I can't do all this stuff because you got in your feelings and jumped on some black guy over some words or something. They're going to pack you out. They're going to do you dirty for that. Trust me. Even if you was in the right. Even if you was in the right. The guy could have, I think there might be like 2 or 3 exceptions. Like if a dude, you know, swings at you or something like that. If a dude spits on you, you know what I'm saying? If a dude just completely tries to violate you or take something from you, yeah, of course you got the right to defend yourself as a man. I don't think you're going to get disciplined by your people for reacting to someone, you know, deliberately right there threatening your manhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? They will actually discipline you if you don't stand up in that way. You know what I'm saying? If you let somebody just, you know what I mean, mush you and watch out, man. It's my food, man. Get your bitch ass out of here, man. Matter of fact, come here. Kick you in your ass or something. They find out that happened. Oh yeah, you getting done up. They're gonna be like, what? He let him do what? And it's pack mentality. I always say, especially in jail and in prison, you see a lot more hyenas than wolves. You notice how hyenas will fight a lion if they feel confident enough, right? if they start getting a good positioning on the lion and they start advancing and they see the lion ain't really tripping and they'll be right there, they'll be right up on them until they can get that food and then they'll, you know what I'm saying? Then now they feel tough. They right there, they deep, they they doing that little, you know what I mean, creepy little laugh. They be sounding just like how these niggas be looking to me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this happen. This happened to me. I think I told this story on here. How niggas politicked on me behind some cap. Just because niggas was feeling away. But that's the mentality. So I know it could happen just like that, where people could change and say, yeah, we can get on them. But if you doing the right things, if you staying solid, if you not having no drug debts, I doubt that Tory Lanez got any drug debts or anything like that. I doubt that he owes anybody there. You know what I'm saying? I doubt that he's any type of, you know, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? I doubt that he's any type of weird reindeer games on the other side. You know what I'm saying? You know? She said, let me hear a freestyle. That's what matters. That's funny. Yeah. Mad love, Cuzzo, real talk. I loved you since you been rocking with Cassidy and Chubby Jag, my big dog. Okay. All right. Here you love. Well, Sincere Cyphers is this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, I'm about to black out. I'm about to go crazy. So, I'm really just getting my swag together, you know, in terms of just the bars right now. I've been going over them, you know, these next 2 days. I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to put on a classic for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a classic for you. Spit this acid for you. You know what I'm saying? It's lyrical exercise. You want to see me do a backflip for you? I ain't even going to get ratchet on you because I was about to be offended. You know, this shit is a mixture of flows. I just blend it. It's open-ended. I know how to send it and resend it. I had a chick named Lucinda that used to send it after I bent it. If I said it, then I meant it. If they print it, then I spent it. If I benzed it and spent it, they probably raised, they fucked me up. Probably wind up in ditches. These bitches get stitches whenever I spit this. Yeah, I need to get back on my freestyle shit where I just be blacking out stuff a lot. I used to really just be on that time and like, you know what? I don't even spit rims when it's time to rap. Just spit freestyles. He said they'll switch up on you quick if they ain't a benefit. Word. Niggas is Arnold's Benedict. And you Benedict. Even though which car said that. That was an old Ice Cube. He said he's Benedict. Easy some gas, been in it quick. Yeah, man. But yeah, to sum it up, you distracting me talking about spit freestyle. Y'all don't give a damn about Tory. That's messed up, man. Y'all really don't care, huh? Nobody cares, like Sonny said in the Bronx tale. Well, 100,000 people signed a petition, apparently, saying that he deserves to be pardoned. We'll see how much the government gives a damn about that, but yeah, it's just interesting to me, like, nobody really seems to be putting it together in that way. It's like, I don't think people really understand, you know, except for that been to prison or been to California prisons or whatever, understand the magnitude of what that means. That's weird. That looks like foul play. You know what I'm saying? That looks like somebody might have been paid for that or something like that. Because why would some random Mexican guy be stabbing, you know, Tory Lanez? You know what I'm saying? What interactions would he even have with him to have beef with him? Usually they don't even deal with each other. Mexicans be in their own car, blacks be in their own car. You know what I'm saying? It's confusing that even wound up a thing, but, you know, we're gonna see, because I heard there was some other things about, his music and him having certain rights that, what I mean? Like, he did do some kind of amazing things. I think he made like $1 million from like his stream. Like he did a few things that were like, revolutionary, making money type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I don't put it past, you know, people, business people to try and send, situations, because what reason could a random Mexican have for sneaking up on Tory Lanez and trying to do him in like that in a California yard? And are the politics that loose on a 50-50 yard where you can get away with just doing whatever? I doubt it. I doubt it. Kind of one day you're here and the next you're not. No, it ain't no kind of about it, love. It's that. It's literally that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, God willing, we do good while we're here. I'm doing my best to put out, just pure positivity, good game that can help people. Please, if kids, if anybody's watching this, don't ever take any of the stories or any of my breakdowns of things, or just detailing the ins and outs of things, of saying it in a way that should be attractive, or like this is some type of lifestyle that you're missing out on or need to know about, or any of that. I wish I never went through any of these things. I can't say I wish I didn't, because they shaped me to be who I am, but I mean, I don't recommend anybody, going through losing your freedom. You know what I'm saying? I don't recommend anybody put themselves in a position to where your freedom can even be jeopardized or questioned. If you can, do your best to put yourself in positions to where you never have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Where you can make your living, without having to risk your freedom. You know what I mean? But, it's America. You know what I'm saying? It's America. And the reality of it is, do I think this would have happened to Tory in a Canadian jail? No. I don't think this would have happened to Tory in a Canadian jail. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder how this gonna work when he gets out or whatever. Hopefully they don't deport him or however it works, but I'm just like, it's cold game that the brother even has to go through all of this stuff. I pray that everything works out. You know what I mean? That's way worse than getting shot and getting stabbed any day. Getting stabbed is worse than getting shot, I believe. Depending on what you get shot with, of course, but as somebody that got stabbed, stab wounds take longer to heal, I believe. And depending on what you get stabbed with, like, I got stabbed with she said, I 100% agree, but getting stabbed is way worse than getting shot. That is dirty work. Yeah, even like, when you stab, for you to do that to somebody, you have to, like, that's an up close and personal act, bro. That's not something that, like, you can, like, be a squeamish person and do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear it, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? The sounds, the squishiness, the grunts and the squeals that people make when, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard body, for real. You know what I mean? That's close and personal. That ain't something you could just, you feel me? You could point a out the window and just blah blah blah, or you just tap that whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when you gotta and feel it go through something, that's a different type of, you know what I mean? So the same way, when it's on the other side and you feel like, usually you don't feel getting shot or stabbed. At least I didn't feel it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel it with mine. You know what I mean? But you see how big that is. You know what I mean? I didn't feel those. I didn't feel none of that. I thought I was still fighting. I didn't know till afterwards. My adrenaline calmed down. And I was like, wait, what? You know what I mean? And it's to this day, I still have pain. You know what I'm saying? I had surgeries and stuff on my stomach too, but to this day, I still have, if I don't work out consistently, I'll just be in pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to literally continuously work out and train my body, or I get scar tissue. My scar tissue would just, I can move like this and you'll hear it. Like, it's crazy. It's real, man. Life is serious for real. Like, this ain't just, you know, this ain't for raps and stuff, man. So, I've been through, unfortunately, some of what, not on that scale, but Tory going through, man. I pray for that brother. And hopefully, you know, he gets some freedom and some peace of mind and heals up and uses all his experiences to, you know, just be greater and better, because that last album was sounding classic to me. I ain't gonna lie, I heard one song that shit brought a tear to my eyes, bro. And I'm like, damn, like this man is, he's fighting. He's fighting spiritually. You could tell he's not letting it crush him. And he's really looking at it like, man, I'm gonna be great regardless. I'm gonna be the best me I can be regardless. I'm gonna stand tall regardless. I got a lot more respect for him now, seeing the way he's handled himself going through this situation. Because I didn't really know him. And I seen one of y'all say something like, he said, Tory Lane is a notorious goofy. Let's remember that. Okay, if you feel that way, what do you base that on? I guess that would be the question. What makes him a goofy to you? I want to know. Tell me what makes him a goofy to you. And I'm not saying I disagree or don't, but I'm just asking. What makes Tory a goofy to you? Watch out, Sherry. Move. You bleeding, mama. Sherry on her period. Sherry on her period, leaking everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but in her little space. The many times he goes around assaulting people. Oh, okay. Well, see, this is the thing. I don't know about any times that he assaulted anybody. I know of a girl, Megan Thee Stallion, saying that he assaulted her. I don't know about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I know for me, right, I'm grateful that seemingly people didn't, you know, they don't believe the accusations against me. They know that's just not my character, you know what I'm saying? So it just never became a thing. It's never, nobody ever tried to, you know, really blackball me or look at me as whatever, because they know that's not my character. They know I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And even if I said some shit, even if I said some crazy shit to a girl, which I've said some crazy things, which is like, what the hell's wrong with you, Jones? Like, I'll look at it later like you was in your feelings and you was tripping. But a nigga be saying some shit, blah, 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 right? But you ain't doing like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not, real niggas, we not doing all that. You know what I mean? We might say some crazy shit. Yeah, I was in my feelings, right? We're not doing all that though. You know what I'm saying? There's some niggas that really doing, you know what I'm saying? They'll say, I'll kill you, bitch. And then they'll turn around and actually try to do it. You know what I'm saying? Then there's a man that's just passionate and in his feelings and out of options is just, and just says some shit that he feels, which is whack. Which is the same emotional thing that a woman does, which actually is kind of a feminine thing, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? For us to not be able to restrain our tongue, pause. It's kind of a feminine thing. You know, niggas be thinking, because you blacking and saying something angry to a bitch, that it's some tough shit. Like, yeah. But it's really like, just kind of, you know, it's kind of feminine, brother. She's making you lose control. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, I'll kill you. I told you right there, you be fucking with the wrong one. And I told you last time, you playing with a gangster, baby. And da-da-da-da. It's like, yeah, panties drying right up. She gonna do it. She gonna do what you say for the moment, cause she like, oh yeah, but then she thinking, yeah, I don't know about this, right? Then shit you with the I don't know talk later, like, yeah, cause it was that night, and you know, and you be like, damn, like you forgot, right? You forgot. You was in your feelings. You was being you. It was genuine, right? You was just upset. Was it genuine what you said? No, but the feeling you had, right? The energy. The same way this was cold. Women could do that to us, right? But they're allowed to do that, right? They're allowed to say later, I was just mad. I'm sorry, right? They're allowed to say that. We say that after you done said some weird shit. Ah, nigga, you be lucky if you ain't already got a case or something. You be lucky, nigga. It'd be like you try to pull that shit back now or explain it and this and this and that. It's like, nah, you said it. It's like, oh damn. So I ain't got no room for error, huh? It's like, yeah. And what's whack is we're creatures of habit, right? So sometimes once you start setting a precedent, you ever notice how once you start talking crazy to somebody and that's how your relationship get, it just be the standard now. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden when when you talk to them and y'all interact, it's just always like that. And you don't even be thinking about it now because now you just can't stand them because of this or whatever. So now when y'all interact, it's always that, right? So now you start a new standard of disrespect, right? Now it creates a new standard. So it just cheapens and makes shit lower and lower, right? Says she's that's been gone. He punched that guy August in the nose for breathing. Tory Lanez punched somebody in the nose for breathing. What you mean for breathing? I'm sure the guy did more than breathe. He wasn't just breathing. He was breathing hard on him. Well, he's over his shoulder breathing on him or some LGBT-ness? Like what you mean? He said, you're right, that's not Tory's case though. Kardashian cocaine had that boy tweaking. Hey man, I thought he might have did it at first. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. At first I thought he might have did it, right? But then this is what makes things for me. Seeing other people's reactions. You know I like watching like First 48? That's one of my favorite shows. Not because I like to see brothers going to jail. Not because I like to see a bunch of rodents, right? And rats. All it is rats. That's the only reason police be solving stuff because it's rats, right? I hate that part, but the part I like watching, you know what tells me, or what I'm usually able to gauge, or whether or not somebody's guilty or somebody whatever, their reaction. Stop, Sherry Berry. Okay, you want to talk to them? You want to talk? Okay. Their reaction says everything, right? Because when you see the way somebody else is reacting after whatever happens, that usually says a lot more. You feel me? You said, and I'm going to smoke to that. Hey, come on now. Fair enough. Yeah, you feel me? Some people just act and don't think no more these days. Absolutely. Absolutely. And unfortunately, I was one of those people several times. But I'm blessed that, I think a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But to put it in Tory's defense, right? I was hearing you saying why you think I asked you why you think he's a goofy, right? Now this is the catch. I'll say this about me. There's some people that think I'm goofy. Jones is like, oh no, he corny to me. I'd be like, what? Like, alright, like the fuck? I don't know what's cool or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, it's like I've learned to look at things from this gauge. This man uses his talent, in his mind to make millions and millions of dollars. He not only stopped, he's not only created, you know, his own wave, his own sound. I remember seeing him the first time on World Star. He was just rapping. And he wasn't doing no melody shit at that, or at least not in that freestyle. He was just had bars. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And he's a Canadian dude, Canadian such and such rapper, Tory Lanez, and he was just blacking. I was like, damn, this nigga nice, right? Now I don't know his personal habits, right, and the way he reacts and whatever, right. I do know that when you're young, you having money, you got some type of power, you know, your ego's out of control a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Alcohol, drugs is involved sometimes, all of this stuff. I know that shit can get out of control. I know because I think of moments that I basically did some goofball shit. Now, I can call it that. In another person's term, it might be like, that's regular, Jones. But to me looking at myself, I would think I would have never did that if I was sober. You know what I'm saying? I would have never done that if I was in my right state of mind. I would have never done that if I wasn't in my feelings and not looking at things properly. Right? I would have never done that if I was praying and in my best spiritual mind. Hindsight could be 20/20, so a nigga might be tweaking. Nigga might be doing some shit that's like, what was you doing? I know I did that many times in life. There's periods of life where I can think about like, yeah, I was bugging then. Like, oh yeah, then at that time and that, oh yeah. Strike that from the record type shit. Like, but you know what I mean? It's like you can't necessarily judge somebody if he take care of his family. Is he making millions of dollars? Is he doing any sucker shit like robbing and taking advantage of people or whatever? So what's really goofy? Is he if he's socially awkward or something like that? Then yeah, that's different. We be judging niggas like we know them and we don't even know them. Me included. Because I be looking at niggas from the outside looking in, pause, thinking like, yeah, he kind of move a little cool, like, yeah, do a little weird. He a little goofy. That's what I be thinking. But then, what's really goofy, nigga? That nigga got millions and millions more than you, Jones. That nigga has created his wealth for his family, his parents or whoever is straight. That nigga done did everything he was supposed to do. Who the real goofy? You talking about who cool and who, you know what I'm saying? I had to snap out of that because I'm so used to thinking like a street nigga and looking at a nigga's bop and the way he moving and just thinking like, man, this nigga corny. I ain't want to be around him type shit. But it'd be like, nigga, you're the dummy, nigga. That nigga got everything you want. You worried about being you too cool to be around goofy niggas that have more than you. Niggas that's goofy, don't even got your swag, don't even got your talent, don't even got your ability, and have been able to do more than you. So I had to be real with myself and look at it like, well, shit. We be calling niggas corny and calling niggas goofy that actually we should be learning from. You know what I mean? He said, nah, I fucks with Tory. I just strongly believe he had a huge part in getting himself this sentence, that's all. He said, I wish when I turned on the radio I heard you and not Steve Harvey. God willing, love. God willing, soon. Stop, Sherry. Okay? Relax, mama. Nah, you, Serius Jones, this wouldn't be you in this predicament. I mean, you know, God willing, you know what I'm saying? But Serius Jones has been in a, you know, I was facing way more time than Tory Lanez recently. Hello? And it wasn't that predicament, but you know what I'm saying? It was a predicament. That was some shit that wasn't becoming of me. Hello? Some appalling shit to suggest. Like, what? You saying what? Stop! Why you gonna make me be mean? Stop, please. This damn dog. What do you want to do? You're bleeding. You're not bleeding on my floor, bro. You lucky I'm not putting the diaper back on you. Relax. Good morning. What's up, Jones? How you be? Oh man, y'all can't call it, brother. He said been a minute. Oh yeah, you know, the subliminal. I know. I haven't been going live as much. I know. You know, good to see you too, man. Your pup sounds cute as yeah, she's a spoiled little brat. And you please stop. You be blowing my medication, my elevation, my vibration, Sherry. Hello? I'm trying to relax, vibe with the people here. Okay? You like, bro, all eyes on me. He said, okay, you got a point there. Yeah, man. So, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, to wrap up the whole Tory thing, prayers up to that brother. And I think he's an extremely talented guy. Do I know how he is personally with women or with his homies or whatever? Honestly, I don't know. And I haven't really watched that many interviews of him. I think he comes off very cocky, right? And I think that's something that some people don't like, right? But honestly, as somebody that people say that about me sometimes, I know or used to, I guess, I don't know, maybe they still do. Sometimes you have to be that way. You have to tell yourself, you have to convince yourself, you have to psych yourself into being the person that you need to be. How you gonna be one of the GOATs or one of the greatest or the biggest artists in the world or anything close to that if you don't feel like that? If you don't tell yourself that, if you're not able to vibrate at that level. So when you're somebody that's speaking that way and acting that way and whatever, to other people, a lot of times you come off as like some arrogant a-hole. Like, look at this guy, right? I think that's maybe why he gets that rep, because he does come off that way sometimes. But I think he's amazingly talented and actually, you know, is just feeling himself because that's necessary for him to function how he needs to function. You know what I mean? And some people probably hate that. You know what I'm saying? Some people probably really hate that. And that might have been the situation. It might have been a situation where the guy that stabbed him is a lifer, right? You were sitting there watching this guy that you know is a multimillionaire and about to go home soon, and you're going to sit there for the rest of your life, you know? It might have been something random. Might have just been the hate boiled up or something. You never even know. You know what I mean? He said there's a huge difference between cocky and confident. People confuse the two. I wouldn't say it's a huge difference. I feel like the main difference is about your humility as a person. I feel like it's how do you really feel, you know, in relation to other people, right? It's not just about yourself. If you're confident in yourself, right? I believe in myself. I'm whatever. I'm confident. I know I can get this job done. I walk my proud. My chest is high. You know what I mean? I speak with bass in my voice. I smile. I look people in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the difference between what people come off as cockiness is the way you deal with other people, not just the way you deal with yourself, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But when people see the way you treat other people, it kind of relaxes them when you deal with other people with respect. That's when you know somebody's just confident versus cocky, right? If you see somebody dealing with other people right? Versus if you see them, even though they know they the man, you know what I'm saying, and they carry themselves like the man, they still will open the door for somebody or say, hey, you know, I hope you're having a good day, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to, you know, they give. You know what I'm saying? They show respect. You feel me? I think that's the difference. And people don't really get to see that side of you a lot of times through this. You know what I'm saying? Through these lenses or through whatever. Especially if you're not the type of person that's showing that. I feel weird. I've like filmed a couple little things that I was doing. It feels weird to even film it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to shove a camera in somebody's face that I'm helping, giving some food or giving some money, whatever, and I got a camera on you. The only way that I see it beneficial to film stuff like that is to inspire other people maybe, right? To just do charitable stuff or to promote your own charity or whatever, right? But it's like I feel weird holding a camera talking about, yo, I'm helping you. Come here, let me help you. Like it damn near be weird. But it's like at the same token, when people don't know or see that side of you, it's easy to say, oh, somebody's cocky. Especially if they're real talented or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Why you think you all that? Because you're not seeing this other side of them. You're not seeing what they really be doing. You're not seeing the pain, the late nights, the grind, who you being to other people, the conversations you having, the type of support you showing, the type of pain and you going through in your own life. It just look glamorous from the outside. You don't know what the fucking nigga going through. And people be saying weird stuff like that to a nigga. They be saying shit to me like, yeah, but you serious though? Like, like that means you got some type of what? You know what that means? You don't want to trade places with me. Trust me. I wouldn't trade places with me if I wasn't me. He said they say the right hand should never know what the left is doing. I think I said that right. Yeah, you know what? I hate that, man. I wish everything could be symbiotic, right? I think that's the word for it. I wish everything could just be in sync. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, that's the cold part about it. You always gotta somehow keep a barrier. You always gotta somehow keep up some type of, it's always gotta be some type of work. So it just can never just be organic, huh? You can never just relax and just let things be and it actually works, huh? That's what keeps me some game. Because I'm like, regardless, a relationship with a woman is work, bro. Regardless. So you're either gonna do some work that actually yields something and be able to produce something with this woman, or you're gonna do all that work for free anyway and wind up with some heartache. You know what I'm saying? Some possible trauma issues. You know what I mean? Maybe a life or two. You know what I mean? Maybe you're gonna wind up with all this extra stuff anyway. And now you done built it on a foundation that you can't even profit from. Right? Because you built this relationship on relationship. You've built it on dating, hanging out, having someone to talk to, confide in. You've based it on the natural, regular, the regular human part of it. So now if you try to make it like, well, look, you know what I'm saying? We're already dealing with each other. Like, can we start a business? Can we, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. If it ain't based on that, it ain't been based on that, in my experience, it's hard to try and make it that way afterwards. It's like, oh, wait a minute. You know? I got my career. I got my job. You doing your thing. Like, I thought we was, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, wait a minute. No, but if you're going to be with me, are we not going to be with? It's like, we got two different mind states, come to find out. Well, you didn't make that known at first because you was busy having a normal square relationship that didn't have no, business built into it. You feel me? He said, right, LOL, right, true. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, why show off filming helping people seems weird to me. No, I mean, I'm not saying that anybody that films it is weird, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're promoting doing that, if you want other people to do it, if you're trying to show charitable works in a positive light, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I've just found it weird because it's not like I had camera crews or some type of agenda to do that. Whenever I did that, it was just on my heart to do it. And I was just thinking like, nah, I got a couple dollars on me. Let me just go and just give some out. You know what I'm saying? And I might just film, like I would never film people's faces. I would film me and just you could hear the conversation, right? But even that footage, that don't really get no views like that. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even really, what's the point of it for real? The point of it is just really a reminder for me, right? But it's like, I also know that people seeing that more human side of me, you know, just the man that I am more, is what I kind of have had missing from my career for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I think that element would definitely, you know, build stronger bonds between me and my public. You know what I'm saying? People just knowing and understanding just the type of person you are versus only knowing you through a rhyme, you know, or a battle or a performance. You know what I'm saying? Or a song. You know, that used to be kind of how it was. Well, you know, the era I come up in is that's how you want people to know you, through your music, through your art, right? But we just in a world where things are so saturated, you know what I'm saying? It's like people don't even get that in tune with something to even get in tune with the soundtrack of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even be that tapped in to even know what somebody's music sounds like unless you're a fan of them down there nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You might have heard one or two songs and be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't know what their music sounds like. You've never heard a whole project of them or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Unless you went and listened. And what makes you listen to stuff nowadays? What even gives you the desire to sit down and really dive into somebody's material? Usually something that has something to do with lifestyle stuff. You find out something about somebody. Oh shit, damn, well they beat two murders. Word? Okay. And then the video pops up. Let me see what he talking about. Or whatever, right? Or something. Or something just catches your attention. You know what I'm saying? He said you golden. I appreciate that, Samara. Thank you, love. Okay, I know where you at. Negativity rules the world, bro. I wouldn't say that, but I definitely would say negativity is more exciting. You know what I mean? That's a realistic thing. Negativity is more exciting because there's more doubt in it. You never know what's really gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? There's always some extra shit going on. You know? And when you're talking about positivity, it's safer to people. You know what I'm saying? It's a little safer. And there's been times when I've literally like making a song myself and be like, yeah, this sounds too happy. which which is crazy. Which is crazy for that to be a problem, right? Like for something to be too happy, right? But that's happened before. You'd be like, yeah, it just sounds too happy, right? To the point where a female could get in the car and be listening to it like, yeah, this sounds like, I don't know, like some happy elevator music or something. Like, you don't want a woman feeling that way when they listen to your song. You know what I'm saying? You want them feeling dangerous and seductive. You know what I'm saying? And now that's the catch, right? I just watched that movie Sinner, right? That's the catch where they say music is haram, man. That's one thing I really wrestle with because I love music and I think music is a beautiful tool and I think it's a beautiful, you know, thing that God, I think it's a blessing from God, but I just think it also can be used as a tool, you know, by the devil. You know what I'm saying? But the cool game is that's the thing, right? Because just some sounds can really make you feel dangerous, make you feel like doing something. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel sexual. You feel me? Just sounds. It ain't even gotta be no words, right? The right sounds, the right vibration, the right frequency, bring all that right out, right? Now that's the catch of it, right? Word. You said your wordplay has always been fire, so I listen to anything you be on. It's a rhyme you talking about selling piff in college. I still be rocking that life in the city. Ha! Salute. Life in the city is not very pretty. Classic. That's love, brother. That's love, man. But we got Pimps Don't Cry, man. And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my best body of works in a long time. And this is one thing I haven't done, right? I haven't necessarily made the sound of my album match the genre. Let me peep where I'm going, right? Y'all know I'll be on some playeristic shit. But I never just deliberately said, I'm making an album of all player sounding ass beats. That's it. Nope. We just about to have a super player sounding album. It's about to sound like 1982 in here. 1982 with a Jerry curl and a drop top Corvette. This all gonna be funky ass, player ass, cookout sounding, driving around in the old school with some chrome rims sounding ass beats. That's it. We just rocking out strictly on this vibe for this whole project. Right? I never did that. I never made it, even though that's been my life. Even though y'all see me posting on my old schools and literally riding around in Cali and literally riding around with furs and big ass hats and all this. This been my life for years. You know what I'm saying? So I just never had made my marketing that. You feel me? I never made that my branding, even though it's my real life. Because again, I've always just been living and just being instead of looking at it as, nigga, this is your brand. My brand is what I've really been. This is my brand. Chopping it up with y'all organically, just my life. My life is my brand. So why you not bringing them into your life, nigga? I probably was a little scared for years. Probably just scared to be a little vulnerable, to be honest. I'm learning to be more vulnerable because who cares? At the end of the day, it is what it is. When I'm going to just die and never have been able to just be myself fully and just express whatever it is and just, hey, this is what it is, y'all. Here it goes. That's where I'm at this point, man. But for years, I guess I cared. I guess I cared about the perception that my family would have, that people would have. You know what I'm saying? I guess I cared. I didn't want to tell certain stories about growing up in my house with about my mom. I didn't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? Certain personal shit, certain family shit. I wouldn't put it in my music. Because I looked at it as damn near telling. I looked at it as damn near snitching on my, you know what I mean? That's the era I come from. I wasn't on that, you know, no disrespect to Eminem. I wasn't writing rhymes about how I can't stand my mom. Even if I really felt that way at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have really resonated with that. They probably would have really gravitated to me just being honest about all the pain and messed up stuff in my life. But I would never be that brutally honest in my writing. I'm just getting to the level now where I can say certain things, feel comfortable saying it, and it sound fire. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if that's because I'm making all the beats, so it just literally coming out of me so naturally. I don't know. But I know that's just a level where I feel like I'm finally coming into the voice that I need to be as an artist. I know that sounds crazy for me, making music 20 years and, you know, but it's like, that's what I feel like has always been missing for me, to be honest with myself, being my own worst critic as an artist. It's like, yeah, everybody, you know, whatever, knows the name Serius Jones, whatever. But it's like, but what? People know stuff about my life, little whatever excerpts. They heard I do this, they heard all that. But it's like, I've never had a campaign where I really pushed a sound, a vibe, or whatever, sonically. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all over the place. My album might have, you know, 7 different type of fucking beats, and I'm rapping on this, I'm singing on this, I'm doing all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep the theme of the project the same, but just sonically though. Instead of right now, we focusing on the sound. All of this shit gonna sound like a one movie. It's gonna sound like you going through a roller coaster of an adventure through this 7 songs, through this 8 songs right here. This is damn near a period in life right here. You put this shit on right here, smoke a blunt, and feel like you in 1975, nigga. That. You know what I'm saying? You said you hear what I'm saying? Everybody got a purpose. God, all of it. Absolutely. Look up my dog, the fella. Okay. He said, nah, I always got that wasn't the picture he was painting. You feel me? That wasn't the picture I was trying to paint, bro. But the irony is, that's what it winds up becoming. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally learning. Move, Sherry. Here, you go some water. I'm literally learning, you know what I'm saying, on the fly, how to be just a more player version of myself every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to be more articulate. I'm learning how to boss my game up and do things in just a better way. You know what I'm saying? In a cleaner way. You know what I mean? In a way that I could be more proud of. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning every day to boss my game up. So it's like I'm actually probably getting better at being able to articulate things, you know what I'm saying, that I probably, didn't used to. You know what I'm saying? Or wouldn't normally say certain things. I'm from that braggadocio era as an MC where we don't show weaknesses. We make it seem like everything good, even when it ain't. You know what I'm saying? When it's like what really resonates with the world is the pain, is the struggle. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me what it's really like. What's it really like to live that life you're talking about? What happens when you wind up in the jail? What's the first thing you think then? You know, all that. That's the real movie. You feel me? You said, bro, what's that noise? Oh, that's Sherry eating. It's annoying. Pardon me. He said, man, I don't see your eyes. Yeah, my shit be Chinese, baby. Yeah, my joints be, You said you want to do a rap with me? Oh, God. Okay, let me see if you got bars, baby. He said, I hate to do the horoscope thing, but you gotta be a Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Sagittarius. I'm a Capricorn, brother. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Bang, bang, Cap gang. And my beautiful daughter is also a Capricorn, man. She's also gifted, plays instruments. You know what I mean? I miss her very much. Can't wait to see my baby, man. I love you, baby. One day, it's gonna all make sense. Put a little sugar up and stir it. Ironically, I did kind of make some sugar water earlier. I still am a little bit hood, like I still like sugar water, B. Sugar water's good, man. You know what I mean? Sugar water, throw a little jelly, little strawberry jelly in the water and shake it up. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Literally just did that. But yeah, I guess I do got kind of Capricorn energy, right? For sure, for sure. Yeah, man. You said talking like this, you gotta be a December Capricorn. January Caps never get to this place. Ha! Inshallah, my daughter's a January Cap, but yes, I am a December Capricorn, and I think you're cheating. I think you know what my birthday is, nigga. I think you trying, you know what I mean? You trolling, B. You trolling, B. But yeah, ironically, Wikipedia and them niggas, they just be making up birthdays for me and shit. Like the fuck? Niggas be making up all type of stories. Niggas said I'm Serious Jones for the serious size of my Jones. I said, nah, come on, man. I'm not doing anything now. Like, what? Libra? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good for y'all, love. So far, I have not had a reliable Libra in my life. Every Libra that I've either interacted with or that acted like they wanted to rock with me never made it. And they also never wind up having like solid relationships with other people either, though. So that's the thing to me. It's like y'all seem really indecisive and like y'all don't really take anything serious. So like that don't work with somebody like me, because as the brother just said, it's obvious that I'm a Capricorn. I'm one of the most serious. I'm looking at everything from a business perspective. I'm putting my all in everything I do. I'm not playing no games with nobody. You know what I'm saying? So you better make up your mind. What the hell you mean you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Davey, y'all don't know him. I'm what? I just drove 17 hours. What you mean you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, like I said, I'm trying to figure this out and do it. Man, nobody got time for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I need motherfuckers who know. We got to make their mind up. We ain't doing no wishy-washy, I don't know this. But I always wind up getting Libras that just be like acting like they're giving me energy. But every time, bro, I swear, every time, they wind up being full of shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's not looking good for you, Libras. Maybe somebody will, like, change the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? He said, nah, anybody I ever ask is either Capricorn or Scorpio. Myself, I'm a Capricorn. Yeah, well, Skeeter, you probably, you know what I'm saying? It's an energy thing. I'm not gonna lie. I started like getting kind of understanding horoscopes a little bit more the more I started dealing with like women, to be honest, because I started seeing like, oh, they are like that. Like I started seeing the similarities. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with certain people, certain characteristics is like they are like that. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, I only have two signs that I be saying like I'm cool on. I'm not super signed out, but I be saying like the only two signs that I'm cool on is Gemini's and Leos. My mama's a Leo, you know what I mean? But the irony is when I went down, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, bruh, I say all this about Geminis, but technically I had a Gemini that was with me off and on for 5 years and they never put me in harm's way. They never put me in harm's way. They never, they did a lot of other stuff, right? But they never deliberately put me in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? And they were in trouble. They could have done things to make their life easy by putting me under the bus. They never did it though. So I had to respect that. Scorpios, they like they're like Geminis in that they be out of pocket. They be flirting and shit. They be playing dumb and then playing victim after they do some shit they know they wasn't have no business doing. They be getting extra toxic and with all the extra loud nonsense. And they freaks. You know what I'm saying? And they be freaks. So you want to do all this extra stuff, and then later on you be trying to like you gonna get some D after all that. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody dealing with all this extra nonsense. When you think because you so sexually, because they're very sexual. They usually are sexually, you know what I'm saying? They got skills. They put that, they think they could put that little whatever on you. But you notice scorpions have stingers, man. You know what I mean? Astaghfirullah is because I heard like horoscopes and Islam is like that's supposed to be bad. But all I know is like what I know from experience. I didn't learn nothing in no books or nothing like that. I just learned by dealing with these people, these signs over and over and started seeing how they act. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm a Cancer. Would you ever make a song with Freddie Gibbs? I'm not gonna lie, it looked like Freddie Gibbs been going out bad lately, but I like Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? I always thought Gibbs was nice. It looked like he been having some other shit going on, but I don't know. I don't know if it's publicity stunts or trolling. I don't know what be going on lately, but you know what I'm saying? He said LOL facts. Scorpios will, huh? Geminis all through this rap game in a big way. Geminis are very creative usually. You know what I'm saying? Like Tupac's a Gemini, Madonna's a Gemini. Like, my Gemini was into music. You know what I'm saying? She knew good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew talent. She knew what a good song is. Like she was very intuitive in that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the good part though. They understand things. You know what I'm saying? They're hip. They're witty usually. They usually understand the jokes, all of the stuff. The question and what it comes down to with me is loyalty, bro. And loyalty means a different thing to me, especially, as the type of person that I am. And being a Capricorn minded person in that they say apparently about us that very we're very serious in the terms of our energy and where we put it. We don't like playing. We don't like wishy-washy people and things. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I look at that shit as like, to me, that's just rude. Like, I don't understand, like, if you see somebody, right? Stop, Sherry. If you see a man building a house, right? This is for you, Samara. If you see a man building a house, right? Because you see me online, I'm talking my stuff, right? I got my music, I got my battles, I got my books that's available right now if you don't already have it, which is The Art of Word War, which is available on all platforms, Google Play, Amazon, Storytel, etc., etc. And if you don't have it already, you can DM me right now and I'll hit you right back and send it. If my Cash App is $, the Wolf Way, and it's available 24/7. Shameless plug. But like, if you see a man building, see a man working on something, building his craft, building his brand. Let's say the man's building a house. You see that he got tools laying around all right there. You don't even feel obligated to say, hey, you need some help? You don't pick up a wrench. You don't pick up a axe. You don't you don't even bring refreshments and say, hey, I see you working on this house, you know, you must be thirsty or something. To me, I don't understand that logic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that logic. To me, it's almost like, why are you bothering me? Because if you distract me, I would hope it's a welcome, what they call a welcome distraction. If a man is clearly got his head down working on something, y'all know damn well I've been rapping for years and years and years, and to be honest, I have not achieved the level of success that not only I feel like I'm capable, I know I'm capable of, but technically should have by now, right? So if I still got any action, right? Which by the grace of Allah, clearly I still do. I'm still getting booked. I'm still winding up on, big level situations and things. You know what I'm saying? I'm still relevant enough to where I can at least have a leg in the door, right? So if I'm somebody enough to where young, pretty women will give me energy, wouldn't it behoove somebody that really actually fucks with me to just pick up a shovel, pick up a wrench, say, well, what do you need? Let's get there further together. That's it. It seems like that mind state is like foreign to a lot of people nowadays because I mean the concept of building something, it's like I guess, it's a lot more selfish mentalities in this world nowadays. So they might know that you're dedicated to doing something, but it's like, hey, that's you. Instead of thinking, well, don't you think about the collective when you want to fuck with somebody? You don't think about the possibility of what you can build with somebody that you want to be with? Like that's what confuses me. Like how do you think about being with a man, especially a man like me, and think that it's not gonna be a job? Like it's just gonna be like, you know, just cool to hang out. When you see that I barely hang out. I be working my ass off all hours of the night. I be on live doing whatever. I be making beats. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally one of those workaholic minded people that put all my time and energy into my craft literally for decades to the point where I have to look up and say, damn, this much time passed before this much time passed between that. Because I had my head down grinding the whole time. Because God willing, especially soon, there will be a point to where these years and years of dedicated work will just literally make it to where my daughters and her children and whoever is going to be straight. So when you put that level of commitment into shit and you really believe in it, you don't be counting the score. You just be looking up and realizing that, oh, we don't count the score, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just keep scoring. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that way. But that's how you look at the board, at the scoreboard, and realize, like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Too much getting over habits instead of instant gratification has worked a number on folks. Hey, me included, brother. Me included. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. And that's part of why I do get a little lazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I want stuff right away. You know what I mean? Even though we got to the point where it would be damn near 200 people in the chat and all of this stuff, you know what I mean? 300 people in the chat. But it's like, I just want that to be like that every time if that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to go live 3-4 times a day, every day, like, in order for it to be that. But hey, that's the work that's necessary to put in for the algorithm to acknowledge you on the level to promote your things, for to stay at that level. It's necessary. So I got to be real with myself. The trade-off of, hey, bro, if you're not going to, you know what I'm saying? You can't just expect to have something that you're not going to put in the work for. You know what I'm saying? So I know that, I could be doing a lot better and a lot more with this channel. You feel me? But again, I'm focusing on bigger things than just being a blogger. You know what I mean? Just being a YouTuber. I'm really focused on the brand of Serius Jones and being the best all-around guy that I could be. All right, now we've been focused on several elements. Pimps Don't Cry is going to be a classic, God willing. This performance on Saturday is going to be a classic, God willing. This battle that I just signed for, that's going to be in June, is going to be a classic, God willing. The book that's available right now is a classic, The Art of Word War. It's available everywhere, Google Play, Storytel, Audible, Amazon. Salute, Cree. So, I'm saying all that to say, don't ever get it confused to think I'm not working or not being focused on my craft. It's just so many aspects to it. You know what I'm saying? And for those that's looking from the outside and trying to figure out what I got going on and thinking that you know what I mean? Know this. I'm blessed to have a roof over my head. I'm blessed to have some food to eat today. And I'm handling my responsibilities. I'm outside. What I need to be better at right now is just being a better father, having more, providing more for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is going to fall into place. Being a better Muslim, being a better man. As far as the MC, as far as the artist, I've been a producer, a writer, I've been working my ass off. Like OD. I just need to be sharper. You know what I'm saying? I just need to be sharper and honestly make better relationships. That's the part that I need to get better at, y'all. Is like really reaching out and shaking some hands and kissing some babies. Because most of what you've ever seen from me, it comes from the muscle. It comes from my hustle. It comes from the few women that's been in my life that believed in me, the one to see me get somewhere. That's it for the most part. You know? Nobody really, there's been several people that's maybe helped me out with shorts in the past couple years just because I've been going through it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, such and such sent $100 or $250 or stuff like that. But there ain't been nobody to come along and say, hey, let me invest in you. I got 50,000, 100,000. I never had nothing like that. So to still even be here is because I don't know how to quit. And honestly, I did my best. I don't want to say I did my best to quit, but I actually, I tried to fall back. This shit ain't work. I'm in the barbershop trying to cut somebody's hair. It's just getting hot. Niggas coming around rapping, hanging out. You know what I mean? Owner getting weird, throwing shade. Like, you trying to just blend in and do something regular and make some money. No, nigga, you're Serius Jones, bro. What are you going to do about it? So that's what I'm faced with. The reality I'm faced with is that it's damn near too late. It's too late to not succeed. It's just weird. It's weird if you're not winning, Jones. Nobody's going to be okay with me being the cashier at AutoZone. And it'll be a spectacle. Niggas will pull out their phone and be filming me and be like, yo, this is going to be on World Star tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. He said, yeah, I'm meeting a new Libra. How do I feel about the G.I. Jones album? I like the G.I. Jones album. To be honest, I feel like it's a concept that I kind of started that I could kind of probably, expand on a little bit more, like on some deeper, the soldier aspect for real. But I like that. I like 2 to 3 and Draco is one of my favorite songs. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm gonna do the Serious Jones laugh. I see you working at the store. Right, nigga, hit me with my shit. Like, damn. That's funny. I didn't even know I really had a laugh until somebody else had to say it to me. It was like the Jones laugh. And I was like, what's the Jones laugh? Like, you know how you be doing it? I'm like, yeah, I do always do that, huh? Like, I be in denial sometimes, y'all. I just be being, I don't be realizing, like, I'm a whole thing sometimes. I be really sleeping on myself sometimes, y'all. But great by the grace of Allah, and I'm still kind of humble, to be honest. I be flattered still. But it's like I do gotta snap into it sometimes and get in my zone and get on my real Mac boss, saucy. Like, hold up. Yeah, I am that motherfucker. I am that nigga. Man, what? Come on, Jones. Look in the mirror. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. There I go. Fuck you mean? Yeah. Yeah. You gotta do that. That's what I was talking about Tory. Is you know what I'm saying? You gotta remind yourself, man. Nobody built like you. You designed yourself. You feel me? Yeah. Sometimes we gotta do that. We gotta remind ourselves who we are. Remind ourselves you a star. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come this far just to come this far. Hello? Yeah. Stomp down about it too. You know? Believe in it. Pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Put your all in it. That's what's gonna manifest stuff. And by the grace of Allah, I still run into blessings because I still have that energy and that passion in my heart. I still know that I'm somebody special and I deserve blessings. I deserve good things. You know what I'm saying? So by the grace of Allah, good things still come to me. You know, Jones, you're definitely a smart and creative individual. Does your mind ever rest? Never, bro. It's exhausting too, brother. Thank you, man. That's what Nas said. He said I try to silence it. The noise in my head, the curse of the talented. I'm like, damn, that's real, because that's what it be. Try to quiet your mind. When I go to sleep, I listen to like rain sounds and sounds of the ocean and stuff, just so I could calm my brain down. Salute Tim Edwards. Appreciate that. God willing, I'm gonna live up to that, man. We got some goatness to do this weekend, man. We got K Shine, we got Reed Dollars, we got Charlie Clips, and we got Arsenal in the cipher. That's a hell of a cipher right there. That's a hell of a cipher right there. And I gotta body them niggas. No disrespect to my brothers, but I gotta body that. I gotta body, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, body, yada. I gotta really smoke that shit. Cause that's gonna make a hell of a statement, right? It's gonna make a hell of a statement. So we on that Saturday. He said that, wow, that's greatness. Yeah, man, God willing, brother. You know? But anyway, all right, let me get up out of here, man. It's good chopping with y'all. We're going to keep building, man. Prayers up for Tory, man. You know what I'm saying? Prayers for all of my brothers that's behind the wall, that's lost their freedom, that's fighting to get back to their loved ones, that's gotten their freedom back and still fighting to get to their loved ones. People don't even know about that. That's a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Scared to deal with the people just because your life's still hanging, you know what I mean? They can still play games with your freedom, man. You know what I'm saying? When you in them people, you still in that system with them peoples and you got a little weird situation with somebody, they could play all type of games, man. You be damn near walking on pins and needles, bro. But you know, shout to all my brothers that's out here figuring it out. Shout to all my brothers that's fathers that's doing their best to do the right thing. Shout to all of my sisters that's holding it down. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody that's just, in the grind, man. Every day we all trying to figure this shit out day by day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm God willing making the soundtrack, the music for that type of vibes, for my daily get up and go get it you know what I'm saying, mentality. You know what I'm saying? The real way though. You feel me? He said, you right, you right. R.I.P. to that kid from Philly. Yeah, R.I.P. LGP Quad, man. Crazy, man. We didn't even touch on that because honestly, I don't even know what to say about that, bro. And honestly, I think that's that message. Whatever I have to say about that is going to get so passionately disrespectful that I think the people of Philly might take that the wrong way. Because to me, that's on the city. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid was literally like a light for the kids. He was the light of the youth. Two little flimsy ass fucking chains should never be reason enough for somebody to be bold enough to even try that. They felt comfortable enough to try that. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't worried about the backlash. They wasn't worried that somebody was gonna try to smoke them for messing with young boy. You know what I'm saying? He said, you heard, you know what I mean? Like that's the difference. That's what I was talking about before. That's what I was talking about Tory. It's like normally people don't make certain moves because they know the repercussions of what other people are gonna do behind them. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at it like, nah, I'm not gonna, even if I get this off, I'm still gonna have to deal with this behind them. Nah. Whoever tried to do that was just straight on crash out time, didn't care. And maybe the cold part is, you never know. Maybe somebody didn't even know who he was. Maybe they just saw a kid, saw some chains. It's the slums, bro. It's the slums. People don't got. You know what I'm saying? And people see somebody with something, you know, that represents something. That represents wealth. When you see somebody with a gold chain, that represents something that you don't have. No, that drives people to do things that, you know what I'm saying? People will kill for less than that. You know? So rest in peace, Qua, man. God willing, his life is gonna make a difference even in his death. You know what I'm saying? Cause if that's not a wake up call that shit gotta change, I don't know what is, man. You know what I mean? I feel like even some of the youth realize that, yeah, that was just some dirty ass nigga shit. You can't even sell them chains nowhere. You can't even take them chains nowhere and get no money for it now. So you just did all that for no reason. Even if you sold them chains. First of all, you can't wear them. Right? It says his name on it. Even if you sold them chains, what you gonna get? $5,000 maybe? If that? It's not even enough for a lawyer, bro. It's crazy. It's not even enough for you to hide out for 2 months. If you had to go on a run right now, you wouldn't even have enough money to do it. Cause you gotta be on the run now. Now you gotta be low. Now you need some money for you to be able to move low, for you to be able to switch up your IDs or cars or whatever you need to, right? Cause now you hot. Now you hot. You just caught a body behind 2 chains. Now how you gonna clean it up to where you don't have nothing attached to you? You need to have some money. You need to get up out of Dodge. You need to be able to have somewhere else where you can just pay to live. Not have to go outside as much. So you got some money to chop, so you can lay low, right? How are you going to lay low on the run with no bread? Because you did the crime for shorts. That's the difference with some of these mob dudes. If you watch the movies or whatever, they doing shits that's licks to where, all right, at least if I got to go down, at least I got $1 million buried somewhere. At least my kids is going to have some money out of this. You know what I'm saying? You taking penitentiary chances because you know it's going to lead to something that your family can live off. You sacrifice. You bite the bullet and say, hey, man, I'll be the one that go down, but at least my people's going to have this. That used to be the code, the G code. I'm going to do this so you don't got to. I'm going to go through this so my daughter or my sons never have to feel this way. They never going to have to feel what it feels like to this or that. The catch of it be, a lot of times what winds up happening is situations like we're seeing with Tory, Situations like what happened with me, you wind up doing things that you think you sacrificing it all just for your family. I just said I just said this, and then you can't even relate to your own relatives. You know what I'm saying? Like you did all of this just so that you can break the cycle. You know what I mean? You was raised where your family was getting broke up because you saw the financial issues. Your mom arguing with your dad about this, and you know what I mean. They was struggling. They wasn't really making it like that. So it put a strain on a relationship, and that's what makes a lot of us be hustlers and be desensitized to a lot of things. Because we looking at things from a survival standpoint, and we looking at it like when I have a family, I gotta make sure everything's straight. So I got to get this bread. You know, that's embedded in a lot of us, and we don't even realize how much. We don't realize why we so desensitized to certain stuff is because we was raised with that survival mode. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of people was raised with that, where they don't have that passion, the everydayness of hustle about them. You know what I mean? But anyway, he said they're gonna learn what crash out means the hard way. Hey, hey, just stay out of my way, man. I'm just sucker ducking in a world full of lollipops, man. But yo, y'all be safe, man. God bless y'all. You know what I mean? Make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to comment underneath this. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. Again, if you want to send any donations, I appreciate it. It's $ the Wolfway is my cash app. Appreciate everybody that sent super chats and all the feedback. I'm gonna do my best to be more consistent with y'all now that I got these projects finishing up. You know what I'm saying? But I had to make sure I got that product for this year, man. The merch, you know what I'm saying? The bars, the work, you know what I mean? The films was like, I got y'all, man. Life is serious though. Salute, man. Y'all be safe today. Have a blessed one. Say bye, Sherry.